Rion. I'm ready whenever you are.
Welcome.
Hello. Is there anything you'd like to start off with telling Linda today?
No, we are good.
Sorry, I was swallowing some tea and that cracked me up. Okay. Why is the unicorn a symbol of justice in Ireland in the UK?
By symbol, you mean
They have a symbol on their courthouses and stuff of a lion and a unicorn. Why is the unicorn associated with justice?
I understand. The lion and the unicorn are the balance of justice. But they represent the strength. We hesitate because they have been used as a symbol in a natural way, but they are abused by the justice system from their original meaning.
Right. I guess what Linda and I were discussing is that Lyrian is associated with lions, and she thought that was interesting that the lion is on the symbol for the courthouse over there. But then we were wondering, well, what, like, with Lyrian being lion, what is unicorn connected to? Like, is it a different planet or a different uh, realm or being?
The unicorn is called a mythical being, a mythical creature, though it dwelt on planet Earth, and it left for its own dimension, and it would have been a creature of great wisdom and balance. It would have been the solver of all disputes, with no bias, no prejudice.
Kind of like the King Solomon thing.
We see the link, the connection is very ancient, though being used in what we call your more modern day, it is totally not understood by the people that use it. So you would have the power and the leadership of the lion, and you would have the wisdom and the unbiased of the unicorn.
Right. And
together would create an energy that could solve any dispute, as the origins of the court house would be a place of solving problems, not creating them.
I love that. And so, is the unicorn a horse then in that angle? I mean, it symbolizes a horse with a horn?
No, it is its own species.
Because, like in our Bible, in the Mandela shift, that there's unicorns in the Bible now, they act like it's more like a rhino with one horn.
No, it was always the unicorn.
Which is kind of like a shaped
which
kind of like a horse.
they say did not enter the ark, but it actually fled to its own dimension, which is of a high vibration, and that's what gives it the edge of being a mythical creature.
Okay, and when you say enter the ark, that lends the question of what. So the ark was real?
Yes and no. It was an ark of creation, but it was more of a symbol of the male and the female polarities and the safety during a tumultuous time on this planet. We do not see that there were floods as such, and we do not see that the Ark was a boat, more like what we would call a pocket realm of safekeeping, whilst humans did their worst.
Were they hidden there to keep them safe?
There were very few humans hidden there because the planet was not destroyed. It was just more of a warring faction against another that was allowed to be played out.
So the Ark realm hid some animals and some humans in case of annihilation or something?
Because they were no part of this
Warring?
They were no part of the argument. They were in their own realm, so to speak.
Right. Can reptilians create reality?
To a degree.
Di-
But as though they have not naturally dwelt on the planet of manifestation, Earth, it would never really have been a necessity for them. The creation of reality as we understand it and as it is understood on this planet is in the solid physical third density. And when a species dwells on another realm, it's not necessarily always solid or physical, though for the experience of more choices.
I heard that reptilians needed humans to create on Earth, to create realities.
They are not imaginative. They have a very limited expansion to their thought process, and therefore discovered that it was possible to get humans to create what it was that they could not.
Right.
Generally of a lower frequency.
Do extraterrestrials put implants in humans?
Yes.
Why?
It has been part of the soul plan. There was an agreement for this to be done, though that is often forgotten by the human.
What do the implants do?
A whole variety of tasks. It really is personable to each individual. And this is a topic we will not talk of in any more depth, as it creates huge fear and confusion.
Right, well that
But we can say that this is not done against the original will of the human.
So it's not a negative to our lives?
No.
I've had dreams of being taken and like mutilated and put back together. Did that happen? Does that happen to humans?
One moment. We will only say that they were not dreams. We will say that you can decide that this could not happen again to you, even though it was not done against your soul will.
Why would I choose to make an agreement to let other beings mutilate my body?
When you are not a body, this seems like quite an interesting idea.
Right.
It feels very different when you think you are a body.
Right.
Does that help?
Yes, I get it. Do they need to do it?
Some of them think they do.
Just to
They
understand
feel
humans?
like it is a progressive behaviour to find and study, and that it might help their own race.
But they knew we were emotional beings and that it would affect us emotionally.
They don't have that capacity.
Right.
They have discovered that since doing it
Right, okay.
for hundreds of years.
I understand. Why do humans catch colds?
This is interesting. Humans do not catch colds. They do not spread colds. They do share a frequency purposely for the upgrade of their physical being. And this is one way to clear out what we would call glup from their system, which can enter and build up from the emotional state of the human being rather than the physical. And the body uses its intelligence to have a good clean out, so to speak. So it is not an illness as such, in a negative sense. It is a positive clearance that doesn't feel so good sometimes.
Well, then, can humans catch a virus?
This is a very controversial subject. The whole of the health institute on your planet have been steered towards trickery and deceit in the guise of progress and health.
What is a virus then?
We haven't finished yet.
Okay.
And their whole thesis on health and the human body is based on a theory. There is no truth to any of it. Though they have created reactions that can act out their story in a laboratory, so to speak, this really is not what it is said to be. They have very little knowledge of the human body and the well-being. They have far more knowledge of the destruction of the cellular structure of the human body. A virus, as we know it to be, is contained within the body naturally, purposefully, as an agent of defense against too much imbalance in any given way that can give the appearance of disease when really it is doing the best clean-up job. But it will correspond to the story put out of it being a virus and making a person feel unwell.
Our thoughts will contribute to that.
It's all thought-based.
Right. do bacteria affect us?
Bacteria are an essential part of our well-being in our organic system. And if we get out of balance, we have to find balance again some way. And again, the body will make us rest and make us search out nourishment and some medicines to help regain that balance. In pure alignment, no bacteria can cause a harm to a human being.
In America, we have this big fear of leaving food out and catching bacterias. Is that an illusion?
Fear, it is fear-based, and it will take quite a bit of work to clear that belief. People have lived for thousands of years and never had fridges. We will agree that food has been messed around with so as to maybe spoil quicker, maybe not be as robust as it could be. But if this were true, the humans would have died many years ago when there were no fridges.
True. And then what does, in the same vein, how about a fungus?
A fungus is a part of the ecosystem of your planet. This is an essential part. It has a purposeful job to do, and it does it very well. And the fungus, it will be discovered, and we will not say too much. A fungus is going to be the answer to many problems, including your pollution, your garbage, your plastic. Fungus is your friend.
Yeah, I have studied some of that, of it eating the bad stuff, but in our bodies, like candida, like over fungus in our body, it seems to cause health issues in humans.
Again, if a body moves from balance, there will be an overload, which will trigger the human to take a different path to bring back that balance. Meaning, the body's intelligence will tell the human what it needs to do and what it doesn't need to do. And let's remember that that candida is a vital component of the organic structure, which would not break down after death without it.
So what's the best way to balance all of that?
Listen to yourself and don't listen to your addictions.
So a candida overload is best dealt with by listening?
How would one know one had a candida overgrowth?
Well, there's pain in different parts.
So pain is an indicator of change, needing to have changes. And we would go through a process of elimination. What part of me is out of balance? What does it feel like? What do I diagnose it as? And with a tiny bit of research, I can find solutions to bring ease and balance again back to my organic structure.
I have had an intense pain in my lip for 2 years, and I have not been able to deal with it emotionally or find any cures or get any help from doctors. And can you give me any insight on that?
We see a stress line linked to this of a repetitive thought process that is deeply ingrained in the cellular structure, which will be cleared And that is the biggest work.
How do
So
go ahead.
we see the stress hormones hyperactive, so to speak. And it is a bit like what we call an overload. So deep relaxation is one of the ways, stillness, quietness of the mind and of the body. There really is not a disease as such. There really is not a necessity for medications which come from the mainstream.
It's so painful though. How do I deal with what can I do to back it off?
Again, the relaxation, and strangely the less focus on that area when it is indeed painful, the better. We are seeing coldness, and we are seeing homeopathy, we are seeing calendula.
Calendula.
This is to be taken as a course. Over a period of a few weeks.
Okay. Not calendula, calendula.
Calendula, the marigold.
Okay, right. Yeah. Thank you. What is castor oil?
One moment. We would like to just tell you that we are not a chemist,
Right.
but we understand this product is a very powerful antiviral, antibacterial product. And yes, that would benefit your lip greatly. It would also benefit to have your gallbladder with a pack over it, which will help your whole system to move through.
Right. Okay.
We suggest not to take too much internally, but more external packs, as this goes through the body in a very different way.
Right. Okay. Pause.